So the idea was Wirecard was a payments company. So if you had, an online shop selling flip-flops, Wirecard would help you collect money from your customers for the flip-flops, take their credit cards. And it's a pretty standard business. Lots of people do it. But I mean, way back in 2014, I was chatting to this hedge fund manager, an investor, who says to me, "Hey, Dan, would you be interested in some German gangsters?" I'm like, "Yes, of course." And he's talking about Wirecard. And it turns out there's these two theories about the company. It's laundering money for criminals, basically every nasty online business, or that its accounts are fraudulent and it's just making the business up. And I start writing about it. And as I start digging, stranger and stranger things start happening. So we realize hackers are trying to break into our email. Private detectives are following people around. My boss, my editor, gets offered $10 million to make the stories go away. And we start to realize, well, this is crazy. There's something really up about this company. And when we start to really get to the truth of it and sort of publish stories saying, hey, there's fraud going on inside here. Well, instead of investigating the company, the European authorities investigate me and my colleagues instead. And so we find ourselves under criminal investigation. And it's and I'm not giving too much away to say it then gets even crazier from there.
But as you show in the book and also in the documentary, the Wirecard managed to fool the market for a long time. The first news that you published was in 2015, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to change people's minds when there is money at stake.
But even though there were hints that the company was fraudulent, very few people bothered to check. How could Wirecard keep it going for so much time?
So you see this time and again with frauds. People look around the table and say, well, that guy over there, he works for one of the world's biggest banks. And those guys in the suits looking at their shoes, they're the accountants from one of the world's most famous accounting firms. And there are a bunch of very famous investors who are very successful, who are all backing this company. And you say to yourself, well, surely these people wouldn't be involved if there was something wrong. And what's happening is those people are doing the same thing. Everyone is looking around the table at each other, relying on each other's reputations, assuming that somebody somewhere has done the work. And what always turns out with these frauds is if someone had checked very early on, then the whole thing will have fallen apart.